In this video, we're going to set up an environment for writing HTML and write HTML for our first web page. HTML can be written in any text editor. While you could use Notepad if you choose not to download any other software, I'm going to download and use Notepad++. Notepad++ has all the functionalities of regular Notepad, with many more functionalities designed for writing code. Notepad++ is great for making web pages because it has all the tools, plus some, to make web pages, and it is a relatively small program that doesn't exhaust a ton of computer resources. Let's go ahead and download Notepad++ so I can show you what I mean. We'll go to notepad++.org, and looking at the home page, we can see a brief description of what Notepad++ is. Feel free to read over this. I'm going to go ahead and head straight to the download page. And to date, the latest version available for download is version 8.6, which happens to be the 20th year anniversary edition. Click on that, then click here where it says download to download the installer. Now once the download has finished, run the installer. Go through all the steps to install the program. This should be a pretty straightforward process and very similar to the installation of any other programs you haven't installed before. If you have any questions on any of these steps, hovering over the fields you have questions about brings up a pretty good description. Alright, now that the program has finished installing, let's go ahead and run the program. As you can see, we have a text editor with some buttons up top here that look similar to the buttons on other word processing programs. The file that opens up when the program opens can be closed by clicking this X here, and after that a new text document will be opened. This one is called New 1. Let's go ahead and change the name of this document. I'm going to call it firstwebsite.html. Notice I am adding the file extension .html so that it can be opened in a web browser. I'll save this file on my desktop. Alright, so now we have an empty HTML file called first website. Let's go ahead and add some HTML in here to give you a preview of what we will be discussing in the next video. I won't discuss in detail what I am writing yet, but you can probably get a pretty good idea. We'll write less than 10 lines of HTML, then save the file. Now, go to wherever you save the file. I'll go to my desktop and double click it. Doing so opens up your default web browser with the web page we just created. Quickly looking at this, we see my first website up here on the tab, which displays due to the title element here. My first website here is displayed due to the header element here. And this is my first website is displayed here due to the paragraph element here. And there you have it. We've created a web page. One thing to point out is that the address in the address bar doesn't show www.myfirstwebpage or anything of that sort. Instead, it shows the file path of the file that you saved on the computer. That is because we have not put this file on a web server that a domain name such as www.myfirstwebpage.com is connected to, and we will not be doing that in this series as it is out of scope and unnecessary for teaching only HTML. In the next video, we will examine the contents of the HTML file we have just created.